Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Tami Patzer, and we are going to take a deep dive today into some strategies and insights that can help entrepreneurs, coaches, and even healers elevate their business and make a greater impact. We have a very special guest, Kathy Basel, known as the AI Whisperer. Kathy brings a unique blend of 20 years of marketing expertise combined with her intuitive coaching and healing gifts. She is on a mission to empower solo entrepreneurs or solopreneurs to master their messaging using AI and ChatGPT, helping them to elevate their marketing and streamline their efforts to focus on what they love most, transforming lives. Kathy has shared stages with luminaries, including Campfield, and she's here to share her expertise on how AI can be a game changer for on-purpose entrepreneurs. Join us as we explore the power of AI in creating content that connects and converts. Welcome, Kathy.
Hi, I'm so delighted to be here, Tami. Thanks so much for the invite.
Oh, no problem. I'm happy to talk to you because AI I think it's at the top of everyone's mind today. It's like, how can I use it? Should I use it? I mean, there's all of these questions. So hopefully we can, give them some really good ideas about how to use AI. So first, tell me a little bit about your journey and how you became known as the AI Whisperer.
Yeah. So my background, as I mentioned in the biography, is I've been self-employed for 26 some odd years, and I've been in event marketing, design, branding, all of that for a number of years. So, but then, I don't know, like often happens, had a little challenge in life. My mom passed away from a stroke, and I decided to become a wellness coach, and I've been doing transformational life coaching for the last 8 years. But, it's hard, especially when you're doing transformational kind of stuff. So whether that's, transforming, it can be a transformational kind of experience, whether it's healing or energy work, or just anybody who's really here to make a difference in the world, which I think everybody is, right? This is what it is. So if we can articulate our message in a way that actually lands for people, that they understand it, but really that they take action, that's what I'm really passionate about. So I was doing my life coaching, and I dropped, when ChatGPT came out, and I dropped my own messaging in there and saw what came out. I was like, gobsmacked. I'm like, this is amazing. So here's my desire, because when we go into becoming an entrepreneur, we don't we love the work that we do, but we didn't intend on becoming a marketer and a salesperson and an accountant and all these roles, right? So if I can walk you step by step through the simple prompts, how to become an excellent marketer yourself. Like copywriting is a deep, deep skill that can take years to master and really get effective at. But now with this tool, like I'm telling you, what you can achieve in 30 minutes or 60 minutes is just mind blowing.
I think that right there, you said it. AI or ChatGPT is a tool that you can use. And if you learn how to use it correctly, you're absolutely right. It can be something that can just open your eyes to who you really are, just because, you put in some information, and it'll give you like all that insight from, all these other places that it's pulling from. So we want to talk about authentic. Everybody wants to be authentic and real. And I think with artificial intelligence, it scares people a little bit because some people might think, well, isn't using AI cheating? How is that being authentic when I'm creating my content that connects and converts? And I think those are really two keys to being successful, is connecting. And of course, you've got to convert people to actually want to work with you and, pull out the money so that you can actually make a living. So what does authentic AI really mean to you?
Yeah. And so you put a lot in there and you're hitting right on the exact points I think that are stumbling points for people. And I really, really encourage you, if you haven't yet started playing with it, as you said, some people are just downright scared of it, or feel like we're cheating, or feel like we're plagiarizing everybody else's stuff. And I can guarantee when you learn how to chat and ChatGPT, I'm just going to use that as the one. There's certainly Claude and Jasper, and everybody's got your tool. I highly encourage that people pick one and really get conversant with it, understand how to go deep with that one. So ChatGPT is the one that I prefer. I figure if Elon Musk is financing it, he's going to make sure that it's always at the front. And it has come such a long way. Even with the free version, you can do really, really great copy with that. But the secret is really starting and going deep first with what in marketing speak is known as psychographics. And that means getting into the psyche of your ideal client, understanding what their deepest fears and desires are, because ultimately sales is about, we tend to buy emotionally and then rationalize with just mind kind of stuff. So we really want to be able to connect by understanding the conversation that our client is already having in their head. So, there's the old adage that people don't want to buy a hammer. They want, they don't need the nail, they want the hole. But they don't want really the hole. They want to hang a photo of their grandmother who just passed away. So let's get to the really deep connection point of what they're saying about themselves, because they haven't been able to solve this pain or this problem that they're facing right now. So, as an example, health coaches, might be helping somebody to lose some weight or something like that. But really the story that a woman might be saying is that she doesn't feel attractive as she's aging, that aging is taking its toll, that she's feeling irrelevant. So when you boil it down and get deep into that, that's where we start to connect soul to soul. But at the same time, we get to inject who we are at this, So I like to say, and you pointed it out, that these AIs are tools. So I believe it's a huge, huge, huge jump start for us to get about 80% of the way there to whatever we're writing. And whether you start with your own ideas, which generally we want to start there, tell it what we're working on. Today we're writing a newsletter, but give it the whole thing. So we've already done, you've gone deep with the psychographics, and you get to teach ChatGPT who you are, who your clients are, what your tonality is, and then work with it, chat with it. We're writing a newsletter today, and it's geared towards, maybe let's stick with a health coach. Is it busy moms that you're working with, or is it older women like me that are stuck in menopause and having a hard time? Big difference between those audience, right? So when you can speak directly to me in that newsletter of, feeling these frustrations, the copy that comes out can just be amazing. We get it 80% of the way there. Energy is everything. You want to just fuel that up with your own juice or your own perspectives, your own personal stories, your own, silly quips that you might have. But if we can get something, if you used to take a couple hours to write a newsletter and you can get it 80% of the way there, or help with 80 to get it, even 75% there, since I can't do math really well, that would be, you could do it in 20 minutes. What if something that used to take you 2 hours to write took 20 minutes? But the thing that gets me excited too is that once you've got that newsletter, ChatGPT can help you quickly repurpose that one piece of content that you've created and then put it out into different places. So if you're on Facebook or wherever you are, Facebook or LinkedIn, now it can become a post. It can become an article on LinkedIn. Then you can create a script and you can have it twist the copy into a 2-minute video script, do a Facebook Live. Now you've got all these different ways of sharing that one concept that you started with. it just becomes a huge, huge time saver, but also allows you to increase your visibility so much more. Like you might have just been focusing on all you could do is get one post a week out and probably not even consistently at that. So you got to post in a newsletter, but it's like, okay, we really want to grow our visibility. So let's use this tool to get that message in the right words out to the right people on the platforms that they're playing on.
So you just said something that is really important for people to really think about. It's about repurposing that one article or that one blog that you created, and then saying, okay, not only do I want it to be a blog, I'd like it to be a short post, and I'd like it to, I want a video script. It just turning that one topic into all those multiple resources for you. Right there, you've just saved time and energy. And you also added, I think, something that's very important, which is consistency to your message. So there's all these really good things about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. What are some of the misconceptions that people have about the AI content, and how do you address it with the people you work with?
So I think some of the misconceptions, well, that it's scary, that it's going to take over somehow. And it's like, no, no, no. It is a tool. It is up to us to use the tool wisely. The other thing is that, it's going to start sounding like everybody else's material. And yes, it has the potential to do that if you haven't taken the time to go deep. And by deep, like, let me just kind of give you an idea of what a prompt might be is next time you sit down, have a conversation with it. And we always want to start by giving it a role, acting as a marketing director. Let's work on a persona for my ideal client. And you got to tell it who you are and what you do, what makes you different, where do you live, some of the personal things about you, how you want your clients to feel after they've worked with you. But allow it to come up with a persona, but then go deeper with it to those, like I said, the psychographics, and ask it the top 10 fears, the challenges. What have they tried before? What keeps them up at night? Have you ever had those marketing classes and they asked you that? It's like, I hated that question. A lot of times it's not a dire thing. It's kind of like, it's a ho hum, another day, another dollar kind of spot. So how do people do it? And you can have ChatGPT answer the question in the first person as if it's your client waking up in the morning saying, I hate my life. that kind of a thing. So when you get to that level, you're not going to get the generic outputs anymore. And as far as, another misconception is that if I put my material out there, then everybody's going to be using it. It's like, well, yes, perhaps if there's stuff that's super, proprietary and you want to hold that back, feel free. But honestly, it's drawing from everything on the internet. So it's not going to pick up you mentioned you had written a book, like it's not going to pick up your book and take exact chunks of copy from, pages of your book and share that at a time. It may access bits and pieces of it, but it's aggregating like billions of pieces of information all at once. So those are some of the top ones, I think. But honestly, I just invite people to get curious, like just start playing with it. If you can get some good prompts, just to get you started, you'll see the potential for it. And then to recognize you don't just take what it gives you, you have a conversation, you finesse it from there, or maybe you've gotten it pretty quickly and you've gotten a newsletter or whatever you're working on and it's pretty close. Take it and then spend some quality time with it. TLC, you want to put your own zhuzh on it, if you will. But yeah, don't be scared. Dive in, play with it, and honestly,
it's interesting because I know that when I first started playing with ChatGPT, it felt like I was having a brainstorming session with someone talking about something that we both were interested in, and it would throw something out, and then I'd say something, and And it really was confirming, because knowing that it is pulling from all other places out in the internet, it does help you to confirm some ideas that you're thinking about when it does relate to marketing, because that was how I was interacting with it in that marketing professional. And I wanted to point out something that you said: give it a role to play, acting as a marketing director, acting as whatever it is. I think that's important for people, because then it does give ChatGPT, it says, oh, I'm supposed to go out and find out about how would a marketing director put this information together. And I think that's one of the keys to using it effectively. And that was one of the first lessons I did learn, was that acting as. And when I started to add that into my prompts, it was amazing how the quality went up with what I was getting back. I wanted to ask you about your energy work, and you work with entrepreneurs and coaches and healers. I've worked with a lot of healers myself, so that's a whole different type of person, because there are a lot of times out there, and I had to be like if I was flying a kite, I'd be trying to reel them in because they're a whole different breed of people. So I'm very interested in that. How have you worked with people who are in, say, energy healing or in the spiritual realm, and they're trying to create a business with that? How do you work with them in their messaging?
Yeah. And this is the part that gets really exciting, because it can be so hard to articulate. And again, I don't want to spin them off as an entirely different animal. I think so many of us go into entrepreneurship because there's something that we're good at that we want to bring to the world. And I think the very first step is getting clear on who you are, why that is, and what is the change you want to see in the world. And it can be hard to articulate, because we're, like you said, we're kind of floating out there, and we've got this, oh, I want world peace, and I'm all about raising consciousness, I'm all about oneness, I'm connection and unity and overcoming all the duality that's in this world. So that's my soul message, right? And honestly, when you can articulate it in a way that lands for your ideal client, that's the space. And again, it's kind of walking through some of these prompts, but when you see that message come out and it finally, like you said, mirrors back to you of like, that's who I am. Like, that's my purpose. That's why I'm here. This is the change that I am uniquely here to make. It's like you said, we can kind of get floaty out here. We're visioning all this stuff, but we got to bring it back down to earth. And what does the cadence look like for you getting your message out? I'm a big fan of doing some kind of invitation to some kind of experience with you, because they've got to know who you are and feel that it's a highly personal relationship that we're entering when we do the coaching work or some of these things that we do, the energy work especially, highly personal. So you want to and video, man, is super big right now. So I think a lot of us, when we get into our headspace and we're trying to write about it, it can be hard. But video is an amazing opportunity for us to have ChatGPT come out with a quick outline, and you can tell it like a certain format of, like, there's traditional copywriting formats such as PAS is one of them, pain, agitate, solution. AIDA is another one where you want to grab their attention, take understand their pain and then get it to an outcome. And if you can come up with a quick format that you do, and here on Tuesdays I'm going to share a little tip about whatever, bam, your script is written. And if you get out there on a consistent basis, you picked up on that. Consistency is what we need to do, which is challenging as an entrepreneur, because we're juggling all the hats and plates and everything. So yay, we've got a bunch of clients this week, but then we get a couple of weeks down the road and realize, oh my gosh, I haven't posted for 2 weeks. Now, what do I post about? It's like, what if you had a consistent plan and now an easy way to generate this stuff? You've got 7 core themes that you know your clients are struggling with, and you go back to this proven plan. Chances are you've got a treasure trove of information already in blogs or newsletters or whatever you've done before, the courses you've created. You can channel that through ChatGPT, say, here's my 7 things and problems that my clients are struggling with. Now give me a plan for the next 90 days. Here's a couple of events I want to do. Bam, 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 bam. Amazing.
It is amazing. And some people might be thinking, oh, it can't be that easy. But really, once you get into the ChatGPT and you actually are talking to it in a comprehensive way, the way you're explaining, it really can give you, like you said, 30-day plans, 90-day plans, annual plans. And I've used it to help me to create different marketing plans. And I'm amazed. And when I tweak it, because obviously everybody wants to know, for example, what is my ROI? What is my what are the benefits of this? What are all these different things? And that is one thing that I really like, is that you can ask it to, really get down into the nitty-gritty details of the benefits and everything. And it will help you to be able to understand why you're even doing what you're doing. You've worked with...
I really want to highlight what you just said, though, because I think the difference between good copy, like the internet is going to be flooded. So people who are making good copy, they're only going to do okay. To get it to exceptional, we really want to speak, just as you said, to the benefits. And so you can take existing copy you've done and put it into ChatGPT, say, acting as an expert copywriter, please analyze this and help me to improve this so that it lands with, this kind of client. And it'll put it into the terms, like you said, the benefits. People, that what's in it for me, that's what people need to hear in order to take action. So if we want to connect and convert, we want to be speaking in their language. I call it their love language, right? What is on your person's heart? Oftentimes in energy work, it comes down to, I'm not enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not deserving. Like, that's where we want to be connecting with them. And the conversion is being able to articulate that in terms of the benefits. We get caught up of the features, especially energy work. I'm guilty of it myself, even with my marketing background, getting excited about a certain modality. It's like, oh my gosh, I just learned this new one and you got to come see this. Well, they don't want that modality. They don't care, whether it's hypnotism or energy code, work that gets you there. They just want to lose the weight, or they just want to let go of the trauma that just keeps them in the same patterns, dating the same person or whatever. It's like, get me out of this trap. I don't want another narcissist in my life. It's just like, what is that pain? What are they making it say about them? And that's how using the tool can make you an excellent copywriter without having to go through the years of, learning that I've been through.
So you recently worked with a relationship coach and you helped her revamp her messaging. What were some of the key things that you changed that made the big difference?
Yeah. So it's easy for us to get caught up in the brilliance of what we do. And so we talk from a head space. We really needed to get her into her heart space. And now some of us are, I call it blue and red kind of personality. Some of us are naturally blue. Healers are the kind, the uplifters. We're always taking care of everyone else. The red people are more that cerebral kind of approach, but they're very bottom line. I want to just get to this. And all of her messaging, recognize that your clients are a mix of all of these. So what we were able to do is get her from that very intellectualized, this is what divorce looks like, and, statistics heavy, which is fine. You want some of that, but we also want to drip in there some of the copy that's going to land for some of your blue people. So let's get into heart space and articulate, soften that thing out. soften the message up, but do it in a way that you've got different types of copy that land and have different reasons. Some of your clients are ready to dive in there. They're in the depth of a divorce and they can't wait to get rid of this guy or, this girl, but they're worried about finances. So a financial kind of post makes a lot of sense. But then there's other people who are thinking about getting divorced. So how do you be present so that when they're ready, they say only 5% of people are ready for your thing right now. So what do they need to know? And that's you could even ask ChatGPT, what does my client, if I'm a relationship coach and I'm wanting to focus on people who are contemplating divorce right now, but uncertain, what do they need to know? And it'll give you, here's the top 10 things they're thinking about right now. That's still in their head. They haven't taken action yet. But when you can, I'm sure we've all received that email where somebody's done an excellent job of doing this kind of research and you read it. It's like, oh my gosh, like, are they, are they in my phone? Have they been listening on my phone?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
This time, most of the time, yes, the phone has been listening.
Yes, that's true. But that's another cool thing because you can take if you've received an email that really landed, and it could be about a completely different topic. So maybe they're talking about, I don't know, planning your summer vacation. But if the format of that email really landed for you, or you like the tone, you can drop that into ChatGPT and say, analyze this for the structure and the tone of this. But that's another super tip, like expert tip, is making sure that you nail what your tone is by taking something you've already written or telling it a little bit about yourself and asking it to analyze for tone. Because as I was talking about the two kinds of personality traits of the blue personality versus a red, if you are a health coach, I like to use the case of like a Mel Robbins, who talks a lot about health, mental health, and do this, that, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She's a red personality, and that strikes for those people. And then there's a health coach like Chris Carr, who's a celebrity online coach, and she went through a cancer experience, but now she moved to the farm, and she's about growing vegetables, and she juices all the time. So she's very nurturing and just soft, kind-hearted, like a lot of healers tend to be, right? So their tone is going to be completely different. So you would take your stuff, put it into ChatGPT, say, analyze this for tone, and it's going to say, make sure that it's conversational and it's heartfelt and it's, filled with empathy. And for me, I tend to ask a lot of questions because I want reader engagement, but it nails all that. And then you have a directive anytime that you're starting a new chat, then this is the kind of feeling I want. Chats, oh my gosh, the new 4.0 version they are recognizing that many people are using it for content creation, and it's really evolved so much even from this next version. And people will ask, can I use a free version? And the answer is yes, it can do amazing things for you. And my suggestion is, if you're investing in anything, it's $20 a month. So if it just saved you 45 minutes on a newsletter, dude, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. And yes, it's much more human sounding copy that you'll get from the 4.0, and it takes initiative in a way that I haven't seen until this new version.
I would agree with you. It's probably the best $20 that you can spend. And for example, I mean, it's equivalent to 3 trips to Starbucks that you'd have to give up, because I indulge like once a month in a Bente hot chai latte. It's $6.05. And I'm thinking, wow, if I invested that $25 a month or, into something else that, think about it. That's a lot of money that you're just drinking in about 10 minutes when you could invest that into something. So you could use that $20 to literally turn your business into a high-end marketing machine for your entrepreneurial profession, whatever you are. So you've created Authentic AI Content Planner. What is that, and how do people get that?
Yeah, so just hop over to my website. It's basically my name, kathybasel.com. And so it's authentic AI. Like I really want you to have some of the prompts that are going to help you get to that psychographics. But the second thing in there is different types of content that you should be creating, meaning some is engaging, some is kind of testimonial, some is aha kind of things, like debunking the myths. So we've got all these different, not all these different types. There's a given 6 different types of content that you might want to be hitting on, so that you've got that variety that we were talking about, different tones, different types of posts that are designed to take them from curious to ready to convert.
That's really a good idea. So just go to kathybasel.com and you can get the authentic AI content planner. So you also put together different workshops. Do you have anything coming up?
I do. So, and I would invite any entrepreneur to do the same kind of thing. So I do a webinar once a month. They're just different topics. The one I just did this week was on creating 30 days of content in 90 minutes. The next one is going to be on capturing your voice with ChatGPT. But yeah, so they're the third Wednesdays of the month, and you can just hop on that website. Right next to the freebie is the schedule for the webinar, so you'll know what's coming up. But
Wow.
There's also a jump starter. So I took one of the ones that was recorded, because I know me, when I get my hands on something, I want to dive in now. I don't want to wait, till next week for something. So you can capture that, and that's a gold right there, and it's $39. So you'll get a 90-minute thing that you can follow along. And you'll get my cheat sheet on exactly the prompts that I use to get the psychographics, and then start creating your content. And if you just did that jump starter, holy cow, it's a game changer, truly.
Yeah, it sounds like it, because I know, when I first started with ChatGPT, I just used the free version and started literally playing with it. And I think it's one of the best ways to learn. But if you really want to accelerate, it sounds like what you've put together with even if you just got the authentic content planner to start out, but if you have that 90-minute plan with your cheat sheets are always that is literal gold. If you ever get an opportunity to get someone's cheat sheet, they've literally giving you the roadmap to have great success with something. So, Kathy, is there anything else you'd like to add before I let you go?
Oh, ultimately it all comes back to everyone recognizing, I invite you to go back to why you went into business in the first place, really get grounded in the change that you uniquely are here to make, and use this as a tool to get that message out in a bigger way. The world needs that special gift that only you have. So, yeah, embrace it. No, this is your time. Like whatever visibility issues, that tickies that kept us from shining brightly. Now's the time. Our world needs you.
Well, I think that's really good advice. And that is right into my philosophy in everything that I do. I'm trying to help people be found, seen, and heard. And so I really resonate with that message. So I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for letting me share this. Clearly my joy. And if everyone's got questions, just reach out to me. I'm super accessible and I love chatting about this stuff.
Great. Well, thank you, everyone. This is Dr. Tami Patzer.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.